Have you ever stared at your phone, heart racing, as you craft what you think is the perfect text message, only to be met with silence? Or worse, a response that makes you wonder if you're speaking different languages entirely? Why is it that despite our constant connectivity, we feel more disconnected than ever in our dating life? The truth is, we're all playing a game whose rules were never clearly explained. We're fumbling in the dark, relying on outdated advice from friends or questionable internet experts. But what if I told you that the texting rules you've been following are actually sabotaging your relationships? Today, I'm breaking down 5 science-backed texting rules that most of us get completely wrong. I'm not just sharing opinions, I'm diving into actual research on human psychology and connection. Because texting isn't just about words on a screen, it's about the invisible threads we're trying to weave between ourselves and someone else. When we misunderstand how these threads work, we end up with a tangled mess instead of a meaningful connection. Let's untangle this together. Rule number 1, the wait before replying. Rule is hurting you. You've probably heard this one before. Don't reply too quickly, you'll seem desperate. It's practically dating gospel at this point. You get a message, and even though you're holding your phone right now, you set a timer, 20 minutes, an hour, maybe even a day, because you've been told that availability equals desperation, that enthusiasm equals weakness. But here's what the research actually shows. Artificial delays in texting don't create attraction, they create anxiety. A study from the Journal of Social and Personal Relationships found that inconsistent communication patterns are strongly associated with relationship dissatisfaction. Think about it. When someone takes hours to respond to a simple message, what does your mind do? It races. It creates stories. Are they ignoring me? Did I say something wrong? Are they with someone else? This mental spiral doesn't create attraction. It creates insecurity that can poison a potential relationship before it even starts. What psychology tells us is that predictable, consistent communication builds trust, and trust is the bedrock of any lasting connection. This doesn't mean you need to be glued to your phone 24/7. Healthy boundaries matter, but intentionally delaying responses as a strategy, that's manipulation, not connection. The real rule should be this: respond when you can, authentically. If you're busy, you're busy. But if you're available, there's no shame in showing someone they matter enough for your immediate attention. Games might get you short-term interest, but they won't get you long-term connection. Rule number 2, length doesn't equal depth. How many times have you felt the need to match someone's text length perfectly? They send 3 paragraphs, so you craft 3 paragraphs. They send a 1-word response and you panic, thinking you've overwhelmed them. We've somehow come to believe that message length equals interest or emotional investment. But communication research shows something different. It's not about quantity, it's about quality and clarity. A study from the American Psychological Association found that mismatched communication styles cause significant relationship strain. When one person is naturally verbose and the other naturally concise, forcing yourself to match their style creates inauthentic communication. Think about it this way. Some people process thoughts externally, thinking as they write. Others distill complex thoughts into efficient packages. Neither approach is wrong, they're just different. The real issue isn't length, it's intention. Are you being clear? Are you being authentic? Sometimes, looking forward to seeing you carries more genuine emotion than 3 paragraphs of overthought prose. Other times, a longer message is exactly what's needed. The rule isn't about counting characters, it's about communicating clearly in a way that feels natural to you. Stop trying to mirror someone else's communication style at the expense of your authenticity. Be you, whether that's detailed or direct.
True connection happens when we show up as ourselves, not as calculated versions of who we think others want us to be. Rule number 3, emoji usage isn't childish, it's emotional intelligence. Keep it professional. Don't use too many emojis. They make you look immature. This advice has made countless people strip their text messages of the very things that help convey emotion. But here's what's fascinating. Research from the Journal of Language and Social Psychology found that emoji usage significantly improves understanding of emotional intent. In face-to-face communication, only 7% of emotional meaning comes from the words themselves.
The rest comes from tone, facial expressions, and body language, all things that are absent in text messages. This emotional void is why misunderstandings happen so frequently over text. You say something with one intention, but without emotional context, it lands completely differently. Emojis help bridge this gap. They're not childish additions, they're emotional context clues that prevent misunderstanding. Research from the dating app Zoosk found that emoji users get more responses and go on more dates. Not because emojis are magical, but because they help create emotional clarity, essential for connection. So the rule isn't avoid emojis, it's use emotional signifiers thoughtfully, whether that's emojis, exclamation points, or expressive language. Giving emotional context to your words isn't immaturity, it's emotional intelligence. It's about making sure your message lands the way you intend it to land. Rule number 4. Double texting isn't always bad. Few things strike more fear into the heart of a dater than the dreaded double text. You've sent a message, hours pass, no response. Your finger hovers over the keyboard, wanting to follow up, but you stop yourself because double texting is desperate, right? Not according to the data. Research from dating platforms like Hinge shows that double texting actually increases response rates by 33%. Messages sent within about 4 hours of the original unanswered text were more likely to receive a response than those sent after a longer delay. The reason? We're all busy. Messages get lost. Notifications get missed. Sometimes people genuinely forget to respond. The problem isn't double texting itself, it's the content and timing of that second message. A follow-up text that's accusatory, "Why aren't you responding?" creates tension. But a simple follow-up, "Hey, just checking if you got my earlier message about Saturday," can actually save a conversation from dying. What matters isn't the number of consecutive texts you send. It's whether you're respecting boundaries while expressing genuine interest. If someone repeatedly doesn't respond to multiple messages over days or weeks, that's a clear signal to step back. But assuming one unanswered text means complete rejection, that's letting fear drive your communication. The real rule should be, it's okay to follow up once, respectfully, after giving appropriate time. Not because you're demanding attention, but because you're genuinely interested in continuing the conversation. Communication isn't about rigid rules. It's about finding balance between expression and respect. Rule number 5. Vulnerability isn't weakness. Even in texting, keep it light. Don't get too deep over text. Save the real stuff for in person. This conventional wisdom has led to countless surface-level exchanges that go nowhere because neither person feels comfortable showing who they really are. But research consistently shows that self-disclosure, sharing your authentic thoughts and feelings, is what creates intimacy. And yes, this applies to texting too. A landmark study by psychologist Arthur Aaron found that escalating levels of self-disclosure created closeness even between strangers. Other research shows that text-based communication sometimes facilitates deeper sharing because it feels safer than face-to-face vulnerability. Think about it. How many times have you revealed something personal over text that you might have hesitated to say in person? The real issue isn't whether vulnerability belongs in texting. It's about timing and reciprocity. Sharing your life story in the first exchange might be overwhelming, but never showing your authentic self keeps connections perpetually shallow. Healthy texting relationships involve a gradual, mutual increase in vulnerability. You share something slightly personal, they respond in kind, and message by message, you build a foundation of trust. The rule isn't avoid depth, it's match depth appropriately. Pay attention to whether the other person is ready to go deeper. If they respond to your vulnerability with openness, that's a green light. If they consistently steer conversations back to surface level, that's information too. Because finding connection isn't about hiding who you are until some perfect moment. It's about gradually revealing your authentic self and seeing who meets you there. As we wrap up these misconceptions, I want you to notice something important. All of these rules we've been getting wrong share a common thread. They're all based on fear. Fear of seeming too eager. Fear of being misunderstood, fear of rejection. This speaks to something much deeper than texting strategy. It speaks to how we approach connection itself. We've been taught to approach relationships like chess games, where strategy trumps authenticity, where the goal is to win rather than to connect. But real connection doesn't happen when we're calculating our every move. It happens when we're brave enough to be seen. There's no perfect texting formula that guarantees someone will like you. The right person isn't looking for perfect text, they're looking for you, your humor, your thoughts, your unique way of expressing yourself. So here's my challenge. For your next conversation, put down the rule book. Stop overthinking every message. Just be authentically, imperfectly you, because the right person won't be won over by your texting strategy. They'll be won over by the genuine connection they feel with the person behind the message. Thank you for watching. If this resonated with you, please like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more content that helps you navigate relationships with authenticity. Remember, the most attractive thing you can be is yourself.